Superman fans, to your speeding bulletin for the week July 5th to July 11th, 2013. A week in which we interviewed Man of Steel, the official movie novelisation author Greg Cox. TV Guide announced a special Comic-Con Superman cover. And Superman Unchained #1 was revealed to have taken out top spot on the sales charts. Let's jump in and take a closer look. In movie news, having surpassed the entire box office takings of 2012's The Amazing Spider-Man, and still counting, according to Yahoo Movies, Man of Steel is now officially the most successful superhero reboot film in the US. Man of Steel surpassed The Incredible Hulk, Superman Returns, and Batman Begins. Sideshow Collectibles are now taking pre-orders for the Man of Steel Jor-El Movie Master 6-scale figure. The movie-accurate collectible is specially crafted based on the image of Academy Award winner Russell Crowe as Jor-El, featuring a meticulously crafted costume and highly detailed accessories. You can order your Jor-El figure for $219.99 through our site now. Don't forget that Sideshow Collectibles is also taking pre-orders for the Hot Toys Man of Steel Superman 6-scale figure. The movie-accurate collectible is specially crafted based on the image of Henry Cavill as Superman in the movie, featuring a highly detailed head sculpt, finely designed costume with embossed pattern and iconic red cape. You can order your Superman figure for $199.99 through the Superman homepage now. Hot Toys has also announced that a 1/6 scale Superman Evil version collectible figure from Superman 3 is one of their 2013 Toy Fairs exclusive items. This collectible is specially crafted based on the image of Christopher Reeve from the Superman 3 movie, highlighting the detailed head sculpt, movie-accurate costume, and specially designed figure stage. Expected to be released in the third quarter of this year, we'll let you know when this figure is available for pre-order. Concept artist Christian Lorenz Schurer posted a whole gallery of imagery created for the movie Man of Steel, including early conceptual ideas on the creatures and locations on Krypton. Included is one of Christian's drawings showing a Kryptonian war dog, which director Zack Snyder revealed in a recent interview with Empire was going to be in an extended battle that took place on Krypton between Jor-El and Kelex against Zod's forces. Speaking of Zod, concept artist Ed Natavad posted a series of early conceptual designs he created for what General Zod could have looked like in the movie. The Superman homepage caught up with Greg Cox, the author of Man of Steel, the official movie novelisation, and asked him about the book, the process behind the work, and his thoughts on the movie itself. He said possibly the biggest difference between the book and the movie is that I worked in lots of Kryptonian names that appeared in the script but are never actually spoken aloud in the movie. Check out the interview at the Superman homepage now. Man of Steel soundtrack by Hans Zimmer is now available as a limited edition deluxe double LP vinyl record. Manufactured by Furnace Record Pressing, the soundtrack is pressed on two 180-gram LPs and then packed into full-colour gatefold jackets with a bonus download card. Pre-order yours from our online store now. UD Replicas released photos of their Man of Steel-inspired movie replica leather jackets. The Dream Sequence variant Superman leather jacket and their General Zod leather biker jacket will be on display at their booth number 3635 at Comic-Con International, taking place inside the San Diego Convention Center. No pricing or ordering details are available as yet. Stuntman Paul Darnell, who doubled for Henry Cavill in Man of Steel, spoke with the Gazette-Journal newspaper about his experience playing Superman's stunt double. He said it was an experience that fulfilled a childhood dream of becoming a superhero. The movie had an amazing cast and crew that made every day a fun experience with laughs and jokes. Henry is the real deal. The University of British Columbia's linguist and anthropologist Christine Schreier spoke with CBC and Radio Canada International this week about being hired by Warner Brothers to create the Kryptonian language used in Man of Steel. Schreier is currently in talks with Warner Brothers to release a guide to spoken and written Kryptonian. Vote in our poll on the site now to let Warner Brothers know if you'd be interested in learning the Kryptonian language. While Mark Waid didn't hate Man of Steel, he wasn't exactly pleased with how it ended, and Ed Gross from Voices from Krypton caught up with Mark to talk in more detail about his thoughts on the film. Check out the interview at voicesfromkrypton.net. Man of Steel storyboard artist Jay Oliver also spoke at length with Voices from Krypton about the movie, his thoughts on the final fight sequence with Zod, and possible ideas for more movies moving forward. He said, "I do think that a lot of the things that people didn't like could also lead to what Superman will eventually be in Man of Steel 2, and I have no idea what they're going to do with it, but that could be an arc." The Superman homepage has put together a Man of Steel FAQ, which attempts to answer some of the more frequently asked questions about the movie. Questions we attempt to answer include: what's a Kryptonian codex? Were there any embryos in the Genesis chamber aboard the spaceship on Earth? And where did the Superman costume come from? Check out the Man of Steel FAQ at the website now. Warner Brothers Television and TV Guide magazine are joining forces once again to deliver fans the ultimate Comic-Con swag item for the 4th consecutive year. A Warner Brothers themed Comic-Con special edition of the magazine with insider scoop and behind the scenes action from the studio's series, as well as 4 sets of collectible flip covers featuring Arrow, Supernatural, The Vampire Diaries, the originals, and a set dedicated to the 75th anniversary of Superman with Batman on the flip cover. Inside the magazine, you'll find an in-depth look at the television history of the Man of Steel in honour of the character's 75th anniversary. If you can't be at Comic-Con, the magazine will be on sale from July 17th at newsstands wherever TV Guide magazine is sold. Warner Archives uploaded a short video which seems to indicate that the DVD collection of the 3rd season of the Adventures of Superboy TV series is about to be released. Word is an official announcement will come early next week. Dana Delaney, best known to Superman fans as the voice of Lois Lane in Superman the Animated Series, amongst other animated shows, spoke with Wired.com about playing the iconic role and her thoughts on Lois Lane, also celebrating her 75th anniversary this year. She said, "Once you play Lois, you just fall in love with her. It's hard to let her go." In comic book news, Superman took the top 2 spots on the June comic book sales charts, with Superman Unchained #1 clocking in as the top-selling book, according to Diamond Comic Distributors, while Batman Superman #1 came in at #2. DC Comics released their October 2013 solicitations this week. We highlighted for you all the Superman-related comics listed. Of special note is the first issue of Superman Wonder Woman, a bold new series that details the relationship between the Man of Steel and the Warrior Princess, as well as the first issue of Justice League 3000, a new series starring the heroes of today, tomorrow. Check out the entire list at our site now. ComicsAlliance.com caught up with writer Greg Pak about being tasked to write Action Comics and Batman Superman at the same time. He said, "I ended up getting tapped to do the Zod, Darkseid and Doomsday books, and of course these all feature prominently in the Superman mythos, so we ended up talking more about Superman. I was thrilled when I got the call." Superman comic books we reviewed this week included Action Comics #22, which was reviewed by Michael Bailey, who gave it a 3 out of 5, saying, "The cliffhanger ending wasn't as exciting as I think it was meant to be." Sean Morrissey reviewed Superman Beyond #20, saying, "I'm annoyed by the anticlimax," and he rated this final issue a 2 of 5. Injustice Gods Among Us Chapter 25 was reviewed by T.A. Hewitt, who said, "1 step forward, 2 steps backwards," and he rated it 2 out of 5. Superman comics and other products available this week from July 10th include Adventures of Superman Chapter 11 digital comic has been available since July 8th. Injustice Gods Among Us Chapter 26 digital comic has been available since July 9th. Justice League #22, which is available in a variant cover, a digital combo pack, and a black and white cover. Smallville Season 11 #15 print edition. Superman Unchained #2 comes in a black and white variant cover, a combo pack, a 1930s variant cover, a Golden Age variant cover, a Silver Age variant cover, a Bronze Age variant cover, a Modern Age variant cover, a Superman Reborn variant cover, a Villains variant cover, and a New 52 variant cover. Smallville Season 11 Chapter 55 digital comic should be available July 12th, and Chapter 54 should be finally out now as well. Supergirl Volume 2 Girl in the World trade paperback, and Superman Man of Steel statue by Jim Lee. Get all dressed up in these Man of Steel inspired costumes available for kids and adults alike. Get yourself a Ruby's Man of Steel adult costume for $47.99. Or how about a Ruby's General Zod mask for just $16.99? These and other great Man of Steel costumes are available from your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop. In other news, Superman fans lucky enough to be attending all 4 days of Comic-Con International in San Diego next week will want to get to a number of Superman-related panels, including a Superman the Julie Schwartz era panel, Superman Unchained from Concept to Page panel, and especially the Superman 75th Anniversary Celebration panel being held on Saturday, July 20th. Hurling Towards Earth on September 25th from Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment and Fifth Cell, Scribblenauts Unmasked, a DC Comics adventure, gives players ultimate access to the vast lexicon of DC lore and literature. DC Entertainment released an infographic showing off 14 variations of Superman that players will have access to in the game, including Classic Superman, Red Sun Superman, Kingdom Come Superman, Speeding Bullet Superman, and more. Scribblenauts Unmasked, a DC Comics adventure, will be available for Wii U, Nintendo 3DS, and PC. Pre-order yours from the Superman homepage online store. That's all the Superman news there was for the week July 5th to July 11th. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
Hello everyone, and welcome to another fabulous edition of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. It's good to see you. Thanks for watching. So today, as promised last week, I am going to take you through our journey to the world premiere through photos. Those of you who are bored by this, you can tune out, but be warned, you will miss some awesome photographs. Like this one of me on the way to the world premiere, actually taking photos of myself with my camera phone flipped around and driving at the same time. I actually got some well wishes on my way. Watch how you're driving, Scotty. Please don't die. Those sorts of things. And then I got the normal people saying, "You're a hack. We hope you die in a horrible crash." But I also did a little extra bulletin of Great Scott. If you haven't seen it, it's on my Facebook page. Scott Vinicombe is my Facebook page. I did it as I was driving to show you my excitement for the film as I was going. When I got to Secaucus, which is where I parked to head into New York City for the world premiere, I went to the Walmart there because my local Walmarts didn't seem to be doing that good a job of having Man of Steel merchandise, and I, of course, saw this little poster, and they seem to be advertising quite a bit. I also got my, I don't know, giant Superman action figure standing thing that was in the that I used in the video last week over there. We didn't have them locally. And then, of course, driving in on the bus to go to New York, we see the New York skyline. For those of you who haven't had the pleasure of heading to New York City, one of the greatest cities on earth, this is what it looks like as you approach. A little foggy, of course. I met up with Rennie Cowan from the Kryptonian podcast, Krypton Visions of Krypton, Vision something or other. And with Jeffrey Taylor, who does the From Crisis to Crisis podcast with Michael Bailey, writes for movies.com and does a bunch of stuff for the Superman homepage. And we were acting a little crazy in Rennie's hotel room, but taking some pictures, getting to know each other, talking about the Man of Steel. And of course, we headed outside where we saw this billboard in Times Square. I just love New York City, and I love, Philly sometimes too, because of the way they advertise movies. Where I live, in good old Dallas, Pennsylvania. What? There's a Dallas, Pennsylvania? You live in Texas? No, I live in Dallas, Pennsylvania, which is 20 minutes from Wilkes-Barre and about 40 minutes from Scranton, if any of you are at least familiar with those names. And we don't do any movie advertising here. There are no posters, there's no billboards, but as you can see, this billboard here goes around this building 360 degrees. It starts in one spot and it goes all the way around the building. And there are different pictures and things, and it says Man of Steel in a bunch of places. It's clearly an awesome billboard, and it was fantastic to see it in person. And we went and we saw some other posters on our way as well. We saw the flying poster, and these are on some bus stops, which again, we don't really have those around here. Where I live, and in a lot of little cities across the country, we don't have these either. But on the public transportation waiting areas, they have posters advertising movies throughout New York City, all over the place. And of course, Jeffrey got a bit hungry, but the Man of Steel wasn't having any of that. As we walked along, we ended up at Steve Younis's hotel. Steve Younis, the owner, runner, operator of the supermanhomepage.com, where these videos can be seen. Obviously, every Friday they show up with the Speeding Bulletin. Another one of the posters we passed by, of course. Jeffrey in his mouth gets himself into trouble a lot. This is where the Man of Steel knew that Jeffrey needed to be punched. And we saw that as we were waiting for Steve, that Jeffrey
had unfortunately died.
After we thought it was funny because Jeffrey was acting silly that he had died.
He got angry and thought, what if I was really dead? You guys were laughing at me, and he tried to punch us.
And I said, you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
And of course he backed down. We all had a laugh, and
we decided to make up and take a picture together. We moved on to the premiere, and Steve and myself and Carol, we were there together.
Carol is, of course, Steve's sister. She looked lovely at the premiere. We were
inside the Albert Tully Hall in Lincoln Center, waiting as the stars walked down the red carpet. I showed you some of that happenstance as we traveled through time last week. But we didn't get to go on to the red carpet, but we got to hang out together
and see each other. Oh my gosh, in this photo here, Steve
fell into a hole. He was actually going to be the centerpiece of the photo, but there was a hole right in the middle of the floor. It was very strange. Now this is after we had moved into the theater.
It's a little blurry, but it's the only one I had. I just wanted to give you an idea of where we were. We're up in the balcony, all sitting next to each other.
And as you look across, you can see how the screen isn't really even the size of
a regular movie screen to begin with. Plus, we're way up in the balcony, so we're having difficulty
being really excited about the size of the screen, but I didn't really think too much about that as I was there because we were just jumping up and down that we were at the premiere to begin with. And of course, last week I had a little mystery man in my video. I had attempted to do a Great Scott from the theater right before the movie got started to give you a little bulletin on what was going on. And as I traveled through time last week, I showed you
this man. And to give you the answer, it's Daniel Day Kim
from Lost. He was there. Daughtry was also wandering around the after party once we arrived there. When you get to the after party, there's the suit
above the bar in a glass case. It was looking great. There were live
drummers and live musicians. Hans Zimmer ended up on stage with a group of musicians playing the theme from the movie. It was just a great time.
Amy Adams, Henry Cavill, of course, and then it was neat when he
moved in and had a conversation with Steve and Jeffrey. I was in the back taking the pictures, so I didn't say much, but I did shake his hand and tell him he did a good job.
And he, of course, said that the Superman homepage was the only Superman source of information on the web that he visited frequently because he really believed
that we were impartial and that we had the best information about Superman on the web. This is how close to the Empire State Building we were at the party. It's kind of hard to tell in a photo, but
we were very close, and of course still very foggy.
At the after party, there was a large S symbol with Superman flying, and you could get your picture taken in front of it. And here's this guy. Not that these are related to the premiere, but after we came back from the premiere, I had the Walmart showing to go to, which ended up being kind of a bust. I expected it to be sold out and full because the tickets were on sale for quite some time, but it turned out that there was not even a quarter of the theater full. I guess nobody really knew about it, and at Walmart, from what I heard, ended up giving all the tickets to their associates that they didn't sell, and many of the associates apparently didn't show up because the theater wasn't full, and Walmart employs over 300 people, but there wasn't anywhere near 300 people in the showing. The people who were there did seem to enjoy it, but before I went, I put up
this picture on Facebook trying to decide
which of my Man of Steel shirts I should wear. I ended up going with the blue one. That was the one I wanted to go with anyway, but it ended up that the silver and black one got the most votes. The blue and silver were neck and neck for most of the day, and then after I didn't have any time, I had already ironed the blue shirt because that's the one I had wanted to wear, and I was on my way out the door, was going to be late for the movie, and realized that the black and silver shirt actually ended up having the most votes. And here, of course, are my beautiful daughters, Lexi and Chloe,
hanging out with their Superman capes on and
holding some of the Man of Steel toys that I got for them. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and remember, always look up in the sky.